Oh, there we go. Good.
We'll edit that in later. I couldn't pick one story. So, isn't this fun? This is nice. Is everyone enjoying this? Yeah. What the fuck is this? Okay. There is more technology involved in that microphone clip than I had anticipated. It wasn't just the regular straight gravity loader. So I couldn't pick just one story, so you're going to get a few short ones all in a row. I had my first car I bought for $400, and while driving it, it was struck from the rear and from the side and from the other side. Not simultaneously, I didn't drive into a compactor, but over the years, and I just never fixed it. I just took the cash from the insurance company. It was just cosmetic, so I just left it. But I worked for this production company, which wearing their jacket right now in Los Angeles, and I worked at a lot of really fancy hotels in Beverly Hills, and I remember really enjoying driving it up to the valet, like the Four Seasons, handing the key to the valet guy, and be like, I know how much change is in the ashtray. No joyriding. And one of the guys had a pretty good sense of humor. I came to pick up my car later, and he handed me my keys and $1. So one day I was driving home from a gig in Beverly Hills, and I'm going east on Wilshire Boulevard, right by Rodeo Drive. But incidentally, if you ever go to Wilshire and Rodeo, look north. They hired an artist to build a statue to really sum up the beingness of Rodeo Drive in that area. And what it is, if you're looking north, it's a giant silver ass. Technically it's a torso, but it's a giant ass. And I really appreciate that guy got paid a lot of money. Like, oh, you want a statue? I'll give you a fucking statue. So this is a very nice neighborhood, right? Very pricey real estate. It's about 1 in the morning, not a lot of traffic, and there's someone in front of me, there's little traffic kind of thing, and I see a woman standing next to a car in the left turn lane. She's standing in the left turn lane, like in the intersection, holding a duffel bag over her head, and the car next to her speeds away. And I could have kept driving, but as I sort of approached her, she dropped the duffel bag in front of her in despair. I mean, I couldn't see her face. But maybe she was a professional mime, but she dropped the bag in despair, and I had a lapse in judgment, and I pulled up next to her and said, do you need a ride or something? Yeah. So she did. She needed a ride, all right. She climbed in the back of my car and was like, where do you need to go? How about the JW? And I don't know what that is. We don't have a JW in Los Angeles. There's a Marriott, but there's no JW. She meant the Jewish Women's Center. It's 1 a.m. I've never been there, but I know they're closed. And so I say, how about, you got anywhere else you need to go? How about the 5 and dime? At this point, I noticed that my car smells like shit. And that this lady is not just homeless, but insane. And she starts to tell me about the terrorists that have moved in next door to her and are stalking her every move. And I was really glad that I got her out of that car. So, the car that I bought next, after that one finally got put out to pasture, I called it the entropy roller because it was the perfect example of the living decay of a system over time. Twice I came to a stop at a stoplight and watched one of my hubcaps just keep on trucking. It was like, and when I had that car, it was kind of nice because when I'd pull up to the homeless guy begging for change at the light, I could just look at him and make this face like. And then I bought a nicer car, and because of the payments and the insurance, I actually had a lot less money, but the car looked nice, and it was a lot harder to make the face that says, do you have any idea how much the insurance on this thing is? To like pretend to drop a pencil, wait till the light changes. None of these stories were the ones that I wanted to tell you. Oh, so I'm driving to my friend's house. My two friends are in front of me. They're driving one car, I'm behind by myself in my car. We're driving along. There's another left-hand turn lane story. We get to, there's no stoplight, there's no stop sign, it's just left turn, you turn left onto that street when there is no traffic there. And sitting as we come up, there is a police car parked in that left turn lane. So both of us come to a complete stop, and the cop turns his car on, and I don't know what he's doing there, but he drives off to the side and parks. Point being, it wasn't like he was hiding. There was very obviously a police officer there. So I became more and more confused as I watched my friend start to turn left, and not quite turn left, and turn less left, and drive his car up onto the curb, narrowly missing a fire hydrant and stalling out in someone's front yard. And I just kept going like, I can't wait to hear what the fuck happened in that car. Like, there's a cop, time to crash the car, boom. So it turned out that in Davis, where I lived at the time in California, we have a midget cop. And both of my friends had been craning their necks trying to see if it was him. It's like, is it him? I don't know. I can't. The next car that I drove around was my mom's car. And it was a manual Volvo, and I was driving it home one night. And this is not just for show, there's popcorn in here. If anyone wants some, it looks pretty good. There's a toilet paper roll in it for some reason. Don't it? It's the opera. So I drive it home one night, and I'm not tired. Well, I wasn't high anymore, but I was tired. It was like 3 a.m., you know, kind of sobered up around 1, and I was really drowsy. So I pull the car up to the curb, and I get out, and I'm walking around in the back, and I notice that I'm like this far still in the red, but I don't want to get back into the car and turn it on just to drive it 2 feet forward. So compromise is not the correct word to describe the following series of actions, but see if you can follow along with me as I kneel down outside of the car, open the door, sort of put my chest on the seat, put the keys in the ignition. Let's see. I put the hand on the clutch, and then I put the car in first gear, turn the car on, then put my right hand upon the acceleratrix, and I tried to drive the car forward. Now, I'd never attempted this particular feat before, if you will, and if you've ever screwed up the ratio of gasoline to clutch in a manual transmission, she started to buck on me, and I instinctively grabbed both of the pedals. This caused the ratio of incongruity to worsen significantly, and I rammed the car in front of me about 9 times. Wham! 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 And its tires were still turned perpendicularly, so I pushed it until it was perpendicularly blocking the road. It was blocking. Before my car stalled out, I was dragging alongside of the car the entire time. I ran over my right foot with the back left tire. I ran over myself with my mother's car. So if there's a moral to this story besides don't park in front of me, I'm really not sure what it could be. Thanks, those were my car stories.